is actually a very good sign of health in a frog and strength. A big mistake would be to cut this out and make it thin all the way down. Hi, this is Milen with Soul Connection Hoof Rehab. This is my 2-year-old. He was born on our track system. He's been living on a track system for 2 years, and I've been giving him regular hoof care since birth. I'm going to show you what his feet look like. So this is the foot of my 2-year-old that's been living on the track system. So he's born on a track system, and he's had regular hoof care. I've given him regular hoof care since birth, and he probably has the nicest depth in the sole out of my other horses. So you see there's this huge lip in the groove that you have all the way around the apex. That's a really good sign that you have thick sole depth right here. That way you know towards the center of the foot, the bone is having support all the way up here. Often what you see is it's very flat here and it bowls out. So you do have some depth, but you're not protecting the bone all the way up to the apex. And this one, you can see that it has thickness from here all the way to the outside, and it's bowling out nicely. He also has a very strong frog, hardly any flare, like a little bit of a flare on the outside here. He has some physical unevenness, which is what we see. And you look at the structures back here, it's very, very strong. Like there's no movement or no give at all. So fantastic. So really, for this horse, I do like to check if my sole is live or shedding. They will shed their sole and they will shed their frog at this time of year. But there really isn't a whole lot. And since I'm caring for his feet very regularly, I can afford just kind of leaving things and then go back to it a week or two after and see if it actually wanted to exfoliate. And it usually, when it does, it will. If you maintain the hoof wall properly, really the sole is pretty good at maintaining itself. This bar is slightly higher than this one, so I'm just going to go ahead and make it more even. And you see out here, there's a bit of dirt packed up. I'm helping him shed some of this stuff, but like I said, I will probably come back in a couple weeks, and then this will have shed or not. If it doesn't, then I will help him a bit more. That way, structures don't get a traumatic change quickly. It's, it's supposed to be maintained the same regularly, really. If you look at wild horses, they trim their hoofs naturally every time they step, right? So there really shouldn't be a big change between not trimmed and trimmed. So it makes a big difference in if you want to straighten structures or rehab something. You see around here, he may have a little extra that's starting to want to shed. It's, like I said, it's shedding season. So, but yeah, this foot is looking very nice and strong. Can you see how wider it gets right about here on the frog? And then it gets narrower down here. Well, this width here is actually a very good sign of health in a frog and strength. A big mistake would be to cut this out and make it thin all the way down. Dr. Robert Bacher studied that this area right here is where most of the blood flow happens. This needs pressure, and that's what stimulates and increase blood flow right about the center of the frog. So when you see this frog getting wider up here, it's a very good sign that it's doing its job. It's doing what it should do. So yeah, and you can really see it on this foot here. And he's very young. He's only 2, so that's his feet are expanding constantly. I think he's going to have pretty big feet. And this frog is getting stronger and stronger every day. as he's growing and getting bigger. So this will actually get probably even wider. So I've helped him exfoliate some of the sole that you can see when it does lines, black lines like this. It usually means it's exfoliating. And this side is a little higher. The heel is higher. You can see it when you bring the foot down 90 degrees and you compare from the coronet band to the heel. Got a little higher here. Another good way of measuring it is by going back to your collateral groove depth. I don't have any mark here, but I can measure the heel on this side, and then I can compare the heel on this side. You got to make sure you're right in the bottom of the collateral groove so you can get an accurate measurement. So I'm really not far from the same, but I'm a little higher on this side. So I will be taking this heel down slightly. There. Both heels need to be trimmed down a little bit because they're quite higher than sole plane, but really isn't much. And now it's been so dry that I'm just going to take my nippers and I really don't need a whole lot. I really could do it all with a rasp because I'm just doing a really easy maintenance trim. There really isn't much on this foot that is needed other than doing the Mustang roll. And if you look at this, he's got a nice wear pattern here, so he's moving quite well. It's a good way to tell if your horse is landing on their heels or not. If you look at the wall height, if all the wall height is worn down at the toe and is accumulating at the heel or at the quarters, it's a good sign that the horse is wearing this part more than the back, which usually means they're not landing on their heels or not using their heels enough. In his case, it's quite even. I match the outside of my roll. I have a little bit more width on the outside of this foot, so I'm a little bit more aggressive on the roll on the lateral part outside. There. Same thing was happening in her heel as well, so it makes sense. There we are. Good man. Yes, you are. Yeah, good man.